7 is Dr. Brenda Dobia. And I have an apology, Brenda, because I came here with a blank in my notes, PhD at, and I remember looking through all your profiles and I couldn't find actually where it is from, and it's from here. That's excellent. Brenda's now at the School of Education, and her presentation this afternoon is entitled Social Emotional Learning in Shaky Times, from EQ to Shared Humanity. Please welcome Dr. Brenda Dobia.
Thank you. This is amazing to be in the midst of all these people. Before I begin, I do need to offer my respects to the traditional custodians, the Barramatagal people of the Darug Nation, and to extend my respect and gratitude to the elders and also to the wonderful Aboriginal colleagues and students who I work with, and to all the First Nations people who have generously participated in the research that I'm going to present. Oh, and I just need to catch my breath. Thank you. I came to education from a background in clinical psychology, eager to try to influence the social situations that were affecting so many of the clients that I worked with. One of my mentors called me a change agent. I think she's right. For me, research and teaching are a form of social activism. In Australia, conservative estimates count 14% of children as experiencing mental health problems, and the rates are higher for older kids. We're also seeing increasing evidence of anxiety affecting young people in response to the uncertainty and instability of these shaky times we now live in. Originating in the concept of emotional intelligence, or EQ, social emotional learning aims to prevent mental health problems by teaching helpful skills. My research finds that there are benefits, but there are also some shortcomings to this individual skills focus, particularly when it comes to issues of culture and equity. And I've frozen for a moment, sorry, we'll pick that up. Yes, so my work advocates a human rights approach to social emotional learning, or SEL. For Kids Matter, I led the development of evidence-based resources that were tested across a wide range of stakeholders, through schools, parents, professional bodies, and that were disseminated widely through schools, through the Kids Matter website. The Kids Matter trial was highly successful, and with 200 schools involved. And then by 2013, there were 1,400 schools involved, with 40,000 teachers and 500,000 students nationally. And internationally, it has generated a strong recognition as a leading exemplar of school-based mental health. However, when researching the implementation of Kids Matter in schools with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander populations, there was only one school that implemented SEL effectively with Aboriginal kids. And the success base for this school was in cultural interpretation and the significant engagement of Aboriginal staff. So my research then informed a comprehensive review of Kids Matter's approach to mental health for Indigenous kids. And also established a benchmark for schools' work in this area. To evaluate the NAPCAN's Aboriginal Girls Circle, I assembled a team of Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal researchers. We engaged across the community with the Aboriginal Education Consultative Group, and also with the girls and with the school staff, and identified important cultural dimensions of resilience, as well as demonstrating the need for a two-way approach that supports cultural identity alongside SEL. In national and state governments advocate school attendance to close the gap for Aboriginal disadvantage. What they don't address is the significant incidence of incarceration and the link to school suspensions. So in New South Wales, Aboriginal students are 7% of the school population, but 28% of the long suspensions. Mount Druitt Learning Ground works with these marginalised young people. We evaluated the work of Learning Ground, myself along with Dr. Roberta Parada, and identified that not only were they doing significant work, they were doing exemplary work. These young, most disaffected people were not only learning social emotional skills, but they were restoring their sense of dignity and crucially re-engaging with learning. The documentary Saving Young Lives features our work and has raised a lot of interest amongst policymakers as well as funders. I'm going to jump forward just to highlight, because I'm looking at the time, just to highlight the work that I've been doing that involves a human rights approach with Sue Roffey and Growing Great Schools Worldwide, where we've reframed SEL to focus on cultivating shared humanity. A shared humanity focus requires collective learning of social emotional skills that foster respect, agency, inclusiveness, and human rights, as well as social justice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brenda. I think as we search for words in these times we live in, I think I'll appropriate your phrase, shaky times. It's very good. A question for Brenda, please.
Thanks, Brenda. I liked your term shaky times too, and I'm curious as to what you kind of mean by that. Do you mean shaky times in the period of a person's life, or we're living now in shaky times, and why are these times any different?
We're living now in shaky times. I teach education for sustainability as well as a number of other things, and I'm very conscious of the issues that we're facing in terms of impacts of climate change, in terms of impacts on society broadly. There's research showing so many issues for young people and the generations coming through compared to our generations when work was, something that you could confidently predict, and it no longer is, when being able to afford what your parents afforded, all those range of things, but particularly the issues that are coming to a head environmentally as well. We're seeing lots of evidence that young people are being affected by those kinds of things. Just the ground is shifting, I think, under people.
And another question. Anyone? Yep. Sure.
Thank you very much. I was wondering, you mentioned working with schools and obviously organisations. How do young people take these learnings back into their own homes and indeed their communities? And is part of the program to help them negotiate those spaces from perhaps what are becoming different premises after their learning experience in this context?
That's one of the important aspects of the work that we've done, is particularly with the Girls' Circle and with the focus on shared humanity, where it's not individuals learning skills, but it's learning from each other collectively. And what was added that was very successful with the Girls' Circle was a focus on empowering young people to work with their communities and bringing the communities to work with them as well. So it absolutely has to address all of those things. And the idea of shared humanity is that too, agency. What can we do? Understanding the context that we're all in.
Please join me in thanking Dr. Brenda Dobia.